Hey, welcome back to Happy Little No Trees. I'm your host, Greg, and yeah, we're playing around still with Film Negative Space. Now, as I make this video, I've been making Photo Chemist for like 2 years, and then in the process also dealing with this tool to try to figure out how best to deal with the negative space in film. You can see the other films, and right as I'm getting ready to put this out into the world, Compass has dropped from Cullen, and it is a very interesting thing that is claiming to do the same kind of thing of how do we adjust our space to operate in film negative space. So you can see here, this is Compass, and it's being pitched as going from similar way in which I am doing mine, but it has its own things. It's managing your image, both the gamut. That's the difference between my DCTL and Compass, is that it's managing not the color, so there is some color compression going on, as well as a similar change to the log format. And then you also can move and shift your negative mid-gray and make adjustments to contrast as well. Something that Film Space Negative, my tool, can do as well. So right now I have Compass set up in trial, just because it dropped out of nowhere as a new release, and just kind of playing around with it and seeing how does it compare to what I've been doing with my DCTL Film Space Negative. So I have both set up in sandwich mode actually. Right now, I think you can see, scrub that up a little bit, and you can see those. So we have Spaceman in sandwich mode, and we have Compass, and then we have OpenDRT as our out, and it's currently set to, we can switch this to right just for funsies. So this image is a red image. We're not color managing it. It's already in red gamut log, so we don't have to do anything. Sometimes you normally add color management to Davinci Resolve. I wanted to see what would happen in red log. This image in and of itself has always been freaky. If you look at the cube, even in this almost straight pipeline through OpenDRT, it is slamming itself in saturation. It is a very unhappy image for red log, but that's just that. So here's Compass. Like I said, it does similar things, so it allows you to adjust up and down your mid-gray point, as well as making contrast adjustments. And it has sandwich mode, so you can go out the way you came. There is that gamut, so it does go to a different gamut. From what I've been able to play around with and compare, it feels like it's similar to P3, which would make sense. OpenDRT does the same thing in that anything that you put into it, all of the operations that happen in OpenDRT happen in P3 before it is as its primary working color space, P3 D65. So we have Compass. Right now we have it in sandwich mode. We actually have something in the middle, just an offset control. You can see I've just kind of pushed offset up and to the right, and then I've taken that and I have put it in my other one up here. This is Film Space Negative, my little guy. And I have it set up so that I'm getting a 1-to-1. You can see that if we turn off, if we leave this on, if we turn this off, we should get, when we turn these two off, all you're really getting is the change in the overlays from Compass and some slight gamut compression. Very, very, that's part of the plugin. Spaceman, if we pump it straight into OpenDRT as well, and turn off this, what we're going to get between these two is very, I might have fiddled around with the settings here, but that's okay. We're going to talk about that in a second. That's why there's a slight shift, but pretty much a 1-to-1 in and out. That's what sandwich modes are for. So Compass, we're going to just take this, we're going to put in this sandwich mode, and this is offset. This is what it's, one of the controls, like Film Space Negative for mine, feel different in this space. So we're just in offset, and I've kind of just pushed my offset control up and to the right instead of going down. Yeah, I mean, whichever way you want to go. I just went with pink just because I did. I don't know. And just kind of push my offset up and to the right. I wanted to see how comparative, like if I took this same adjustment. Now, the thing with, and we just grab a still, like so, and we can go up here, we can copy this offset adjustment, put it up here, boop, and Spaceman now goes out. So we fiddled around, I've been fiddling around with a little bit, but one of the things we can see is it's the same thing. And one of the things is with Spaceman, you do need to play around with it a little bit to get it figured out. It's not as simplistic, I would say, as getting it into the space that you want it in, and shaping everything. So I didn't design it to have guardrails, you could say. So you have to play with it a little bit. If you're like, oh, I want it to do exactly what Compass does, Film Space Negative CST, it works slightly differently. It doesn't do any gamut compression, but same offset adjustment, like I said, between these two. And I've just made a slight tweak to dial in, like we're at 0.427, like you can see if I push this up, there's the line. I'll bring this down, and I'm dialing in my mid-gray point, the adjustment that's being made automatically in Compass. You have to do manually in here. And now the line, if you were watching, has, for the most part, gone away. There's a couple places where you might see, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not gonna be a perfect one-to-one, and I'm not trying to get it to be a perfect one-to-one. I'm just saying here, the intent and focus of these two plugins are pretty much the same, and for the most part, you can get, also because I'm not doing a true one-to-one, 427, I kind of fiddled with this back and forth. If you can't see a line, it's because I'm trying to make the line disappear by just adjusting my mid-gray settings, because I feel like that's the kicker. Is how things go. So it is very close. I would say they have different purposes, so there is a different way in which it's making its curve. I would say, having played around with it back and forth, the controls in this negative space in the sandwich feel very similar. Yeah, so it's kind of like, yeah, you go get the trial. Compass is, you can get a trial of it, and you can get Film Space Negative, and you can play with them side by side, just like I am right here, and see what they are. Film Space Negative is, there will be a link in the description. I have a link for Compass as well, and where you can find out more about Compass. And then Film Space Negative is on my website. It's outside of the paywall, so in its current iteration, it's completely free. And you can check out other videos on the channel about Film Space Negative, and not in this way of being a direct compare to Compass. Because there's some things that Film Space Negative, my tool, does that's a little bit different. And you're going to be like, why is this slammed all the way over here? Because it does something really cool. That, I don't know. Have fun. But yeah, I would say these tools are very similar, and not at all to be taken lightly. Like, both are pretty good, and they are doing their express purpose of designing a new working space for your tools. And that's kind of what is really cool, is when you're in a new working space, your tools are going to act and feel differently. Like you can see, as I'm just changing the working space, that offset control is acting like the only thing that's different between like if we turn off the still, like in Spaceman, the only thing that's different, like, or we just deal with compass too. Right now, we know from a pure theoretical standpoint, these two nodes are in and out the same. And that offset control is what is happening. If you did that offset move with no compass, this is what image you would have, which means you would never do that kind of offset move. But here is the image slightly pinkly tinted with the compass sandwich. Really cool. Spaceman, my man, Film Space Negative CST over here. The one-to-one back end, which we've been fiddling around with these guys, isn't a true one-to-one back in and out. We can do that same thing where we can see that offset adjustment is bonkers because it's the same offset adjustment between those two options, but it's shaping the image differently. It's controlling it differently. And yeah, it just depends how you want to go about doing that. But yeah, check them out. Get links in the description to get access to either the trial version of Compass or to Film Space Negative CST. Bye-bye.